welcome to Arcadia FYI. I am so happy that you're here with me. I just want to say thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for your emails, your questions, your suggestions. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for you, the listeners, especially those of us here in the city of Arcadia. And what I like to focus on in this show is information. That's why it's called FYI. Arcadia for your information, whether that be events that are coming up, things that we can help businesses with, things that we don't even know is going on in the city of Arcadia. And I'm so thankful for you guys emailing me, and even on Facebook, you Facebook me about things that I didn't even know that were going on in the city of Arcadia, and also things that we can entertain. You know, I don't sing. I can try and sing, but maybe that would be entertaining. I don't know. But that's what this show is all about. And today I have a really, really good show. But I would like to thank our sponsors. Longo Toyota Lexus in El Monte. You know, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it every show, and at the end of every show, you got to go out there and just check out Longo Toyota. It's right off the 10 freeway. Say hi to Mike and Brooke because they do more than just sell cars. Star 7 Financial with Francine Chu, who I think is one of the best financial advisors in the city of Arcadia. Of course, I'm biased. The Santa Anita Park. I just talked to Pete the other day, and he's going to be coming in like mid-September, end of September, to talk about the things that are going on at the park. It's going to be very exciting. The Le Méridien Hotel in Arcadia and Pasadena. Next week, I know she was supposed to be on this week, but next week, Gabby is going to be on with us, and we're going to take a tour of that hotel also. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. If you are a business owner, okay, or you're an in-house marketing professional and you're seeking to enhance your organization's online presence, whether it be through strategies like search engine optimization, also known as SEO, developing content, good content tailored to your target audience on your website, implementing effective, now we're talking effective email marketing, or utilizing the crazy social media. But there's a way to utilize social media marketing. We're going to be talking about that. And if you're interested in that, then for your information, this podcast will be highly informational for you. Joining me in studio is a very good friend. And I'm going to say this, and if you're watching on YouTube, you already see MJ Fieldstrom. I refer all, did I mention all? All my clients to MJ because it's hard to find someone with integrity when it comes to online marketing. And MJ is, and you can judge for yourself. Of course, we don't judge, but you could judge for yourself, observe for yourself the integrity of MJ Fieldstrom, the owner of Hut Dogs, a digital marketing service provider, along with your brother David. And they specialize what we're going to be talking about: email marketing, social media marketing, workshops, coaching. That's MJ. Welcome, MJ.
Thank you for having me, Christine.
Oh my gosh,
this is going to be fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. So I do want to say before we start, a little background on myself.
Yes.
Okay, because people probably just think I just host a podcast show and make millions of dollars. Just kidding, because I don't. When I'm not doing Arcadia FYI, I am a website designer. I build and design websites, and I do work off WordPress. I'm not an evangelist for WordPress, but WordPress gives me the opportunity to do custom websites and to be able to utilize search engine optimization effectively for the client. I could do that with WordPress because I can touch the content, edit the content, optimize the content. And I also produce award-winning, and I just say that I won 2 tellies for online video and for a television commercial. And winning a telly is like winning an Oscar.
That's huge. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's really hard to do, and I cried when I got my first one. It was a television commercial. And if you're interested in doing a podcast and you want to rent this studio that MJ and I are in, you can do that. All you have to do is go to puremediamarketing.com. And right up at the top there, it says podcast studio, and you can rent $75 an hour.
It's amazing. That's a great price.
It's a great price. And if
That's
you $75 an hour, and if you need help with that, then we can talk and negotiate how you can utilize those services. All right. So that is what I do, and that's what we're going to talk about, is helping businesses in Arcadia or wherever they might be with their online presence. But first of all, let's get to know MJ a little bit. And you know what? I did forget to start my timer, so I'm going to start it right now. Whoops. Okay, now I'm totally messing it up. And let's see here. This is what we do oh, there it goes. You just heard the beep. Okay, so MJ, how long have you been in Arcadia? Are you an Arcadian? Were you born here?
No, I was not born here, but I've been here about 25 years. And I moved here when I met my husband and got married, and it was sort of a middle ground between where he lived and where I lived, and we ended up in Arcadia. But I'm born in Colorado. Grew up there.
Do you snow ski?
Yes, yeah, not anymore. That ship has sailed. My knees are not like they once were, but yeah, I grew up I love the slopes.
Oh
it's great.
My gosh, that is so great. I can't, real fast, I just have to say, I tried snow skiing and I couldn't do it. I had bruised myself so bad. I fell down that hill, I don't know how many times, so I water ski.
Nice.
So, okay, so you said you're married, your husband. Do you have
Married,
children, pets?
Yes, I'm a Gen Z mom of a great kid, and I have a dog, and that's me.
Okay, so
Arcadia.
So your daughter, where did she go to college? I know it's really a terrible place.
Somebody has to do it, but somebody has to go to the University of Hawaii in Manoa. Yeah.
I can't believe it, Hawaii. You get to go
it's
there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So awesome.
All right, let's talk about hot dogs. I'm sorry, hut dogs.
It's a hut, not a hot.
How did you come up with that name, Hut Dogs?
Oh, I don't know. I think a long, exhaustive. I wish I had a better story for it. But my brother and I, when we were developing this business, I think back in 2002, we wanted something kind of catchy. And that's the whole thing of marketing. If somebody can remember you and remember your name, that's, you got half the battle won there. But we were just in a meeting, strategizing. We had the whiteboard out and writing all kinds of things on it. And then my husband, 2 hours later, is kind of sick of us. He walks through the room and goes, just call it something like Hut Dogs. And we're like, could we? Like you think about Kinko's, how that name came to be, that's an interesting story. And everybody knows Kinko's. I still call FedEx Kinko's, so
yes.
I just like a name that people remember. Although they begged on me too. It should say something that you do in your name. But I'm like, no, let's have a memorable name. So it's been a fun thing.
Well, it's funny that you bring up names like that. You think of Google.
Yeah.
Google doesn't have search in it.
No.
Kinko's doesn't have printing in it. Nike doesn't have shorts, shirts, shoes, socks, whatever.
No, but it has a great swish.
It does have a great, and just do it.
Yeah.
So, and it is funny when people, when I talk with marketing with people, they always say, what kind of name should I have? Or should I match my name with the URL? And I said, you can. That's the best way to go.
Right.
But search doesn't find you by your URL. They find you by your content.
Right.
It is most important because sometimes you can't find the exact match of your name with the URL because it's taken.
Right.
So names are important, but
what's in a name?
Yeah, what's in a name, but it is truly the content. So
absolutely.
What is it what do you do exactly?
I know we kind of do about 4 things. Basically we help people get a little more creative and now work smarter when they're doing their marketing. We come in kind of 4 flavors. We do it for you. We do it all for you. We can handle your social media, your email, help you with just, old school marketing. We do a lot of print and a lot of design, rooted in graphic design. And then we have educational series. We do a lot of coaching. We do a lot of workshops and seminars, and people love those. We have a good following on that. And then I do a lot of coaching, and I love those. People can sign up for an hour or 2, and they're either a work session where we're like hammering out an email or a strategy or something. But lately what's been really something I'll probably grow into, I've been helping people sort of empower their up-and-coming talent in their world, like a small business owner, a couple of times have hired me to work with their younger marketing teams and staff, and they'll do one-on-one sessions, and because they don't really know how to mentor or strategize. And man, I love that work because I'm a mom of Gen Z, and I love mentoring, and it's fun, and helping them, empower them with skills and just practical advice, because a lot of times people are trained in, oh, here's how to do this skill, but then there's a human side of it and just a business side of it. So I really dig that part of it too.
Gen Z, I was a high school teacher. And one thing when it comes to the younger, they want to learn.
When I was that age, I had lots of mentors, and I was willing to be mentored. I think that there are some that are not willing to be mentored because they think they know it all. And
because the internet's true.
Yeah, they don't know what they don't know,
Yeah.
But, I think that, I don't know, it's kind of a cool space to be in, yeah.
All right, well, that's a great place to start. Let's talk about marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a business, and you may or may not have a website, but let's just for the sake of this conversation, you don't have a website. Okay, so marketing, you come and say, first thing, okay, I want to be powerbusiness.com. So they come to me and they say, okay, I need a website. And for very first thing I ask them, I'll ask them, what is it that you do? Well, I'm a power company. I'll go, okay, power company. Well, what do you mean? Electricity or, so we talk about what their dream is. I want to know the dream. Okay, so we get the content, we build the site, I optimize the content, so now we need marketing. So what do? I call up MJ.
Up
MJ.
And I'm glad you do. Thank you.
Yeah, I do. Okay, so now that you've got the website, you've got the content, now what do you do, MJ?
I kind of think, same with you, I'll do an intake process, but I always like to ask people, what problems do you solve? Because it helps people narrow down who their audience is and who they're trying to reach, because not everybody is for everybody. Let's, face it. But what problems are you solving? What are you helping people do? And a lot of times, mostly people need a way to push people to the website, so really basically the email marketing and social media are ways to, search engine's great if somebody's searching for that fancy business, but sometimes they're not. So now we need to figure out another angle to get them into the website. It's all channels to direct traffic over to their main hub, which should be their website. Right?
That is so key. I hope you heard that. Number one, you get your website. You want to get your domain. You want to buy your domain, buy your hosting. Then you build your website. Make sure you know what your dream is so we can turn that into a vision. We gather your content, but I like what you said. What problems do you solve? Yeah. And only you would know the conflict that people will have with whatever service or product that you have and that you want to promote.
Yeah.
And search engine optimization works like this. And of course, MJ and I are being condensed in our conversation. There's a lot more conversation when I have a client before me, but for the most part, I always tell people, when it comes to your services, when it comes to your products, if you don't know who you are, Google doesn't know who you are.
Right. And important to know Google and to work with somebody who's kind of experienced in it, because, that's important. Google's changing all the time, and to keep up with that, that you keep up with it all the time, and that's amazing. And you have to, right? So that's why it's so important to have different levels of service. Social media and AI is hard enough to keep up with versus all the web stuff. It's changing all the time.
Talk to me about an email campaign, because when I'm done with the website, that's the first thing that the client will say. Mm-hmm. Okay, now what do I do?
I think for a business, if businesses who build a really good quality email list of people who want to get their services or want to get their messaging, that's one of the best things you can do for your business, hands down. Know it over and over and over again. When you build a good quality email list, there's nothing like sending out a list to 12,000 people and in an hour 5,000 or 6,000 people open it. You cannot pay for that kind. It takes time. It takes good content. You use social media. Social media is sort of like dating. It's like fast and it's furious. It's quick stuff. But email is like that long-term relationship. We have people who've been on our email list for years. We started growing ours in 2008, and people will come back. They'll see an email. Oh, we haven't thought about you for a while, but because I send them a monthly email, I need this service, or I have a referral for you. Some people get too much into buy my stuff, and it just comes out so crash online and even in email. You have to play with content, and there's so many ways to build an email list online. You could have different hooks, like join my email list for to download something or to get some kind of special offer. But then you always want to start with your current customers. Make sure they're the first people who are on your list, because that's where your next point of business usually come from, is from a referral. We have all these fancy tools, but word of mouth is still the best way to get business.
I think so too.
For sure.
What is an email campaign? I know you kind of touched on it, but what does it consist of? Like when
Well, you talked a bit about domain. It starts with your email address. You do not want to be Bob at AOL, because people get so many spams and things nowadays. Like, I don't know Bob at AOL, but I know Christine at Pure Media Marketing, because she has her business. This is where you want to have your business name in your email address, MJF at Hut Dogs.
Yes.
We know her, but we don't know Bob at AOL or Todd at
Or
Gmail.
Hotmail.
Yeah. Oh, God, Hotmail.
Oh,
Or AOL. I mean, it's just like, oh, that's so antiquated to me, but it's funny when I see an AOL. But even at Gmail, like some people, they'll trick it. They'll do like hutdogs@gmail.com. But still, you want to feel like you're getting it from a legitimate person. So it consists of that, and then it consists of a great subject line. The first two words, they've done statistics on it, are what gets you to read the rest of the subject line, not open the email, but just get you to read the rest of the subject line, and then you hope they open it.
yes.
And then once they open it, you don't need to send the whole encyclopedia to people. You can link off again to a website or to a video or to a blog to read more. Just tease it out and just don't give people a ton of choices either. We find that, and it just isn't true in life in general. It's true with Generation Z as well. You give them too many choices, they'll do nothing because it's too overwhelming. One email or one choice, one call to action is pretty much all you need for a successful email campaign, and a good list. You want to make sure you're not buying a list. Don't go over to the Arcadia Chamber and pilfer their list, because it's spammy. It feels, have people sign up. And when you go out and network, hey, I send out an email once a month. Can I add you to my list? Make the ask.
Yeah, and people will say, who opens those? People who are interested.
Yeah.
And it's very true. Same thing with online video. Who's going to watch 30 minutes of an online, but who's going to listen?
People who are interested, yeah.
People who are interested. Because people will ask me, how long should my video be? Well, it depends on the content.
Yeah, it depends on the interest, yeah.
Yeah, they'll listen and they'll watch if it's interesting to them. So
Absolutely.
They've stopped with the research, like only 3 minutes. And if you do see that, just ignore it, because it is about the content. They will listen and they will watch. What has been, I know you have to probably think about it. I should have asked you this beforehand. What was your most successful email campaign I know, like that as an example that, oh my gosh, this one got a huge response?
I don't know if it's one single one, but I'm always amazed when people who haven't been doing email marketing, they'll send something out to their current customers and they've never done it before. There's a photographer who is well established, and he never sent out an email marketing ever, but he had this huge list of people who loved him and an email list. And we sent out a Constant Contact. I'm a big fan of Constant Contact, as most people know. And he had like a 90% open rate, which is considered amazing,
That is amazing.
And he was just blown away by how fast the responses were, and just the fact that people would open something from him. And it was like a light bulb, like, oh my gosh, I haven't been staying in touch with people. And that's the one thing with business owners. I think they build a website, people will come. It's not Field of Dreams. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. Hope is not a strategy.
Build it and there will come.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's not a strategy for your website and your marketing.
They hired people to come to that field.
And we paid our tickets, darn it.
I know.
Yeah, we came because we paid for the ticket. But, you've got to have a strategy to get people to your website or get people in your door of business or get them to call.
Or get them to buy your product, too.
Exactly. And that strategy often is not buy my stuff, especially on social media.
Yeah.
When people are just blasting, hey, buy my stuff. It takes out the personalization. Like you said, when you go to that about section, people want to do business, it's an old saying, with people they know, like, and trust. And that is where social media comes into play. People start to get to know you better and get to know what you're about. And then that's why you also have to have a policy for your social media. If you're a business owner, what is your policy for social media?
What do you mean?
Well, do you blast about politics? Do you blast about controversial topics? If you're a business owner, your brand is on the line, and I think that there are corners of social media where they're just creating boxing rings. They post so they can get the most contentious fights going, and they think that's so much fun, and at the cost of community and unity and all kinds of things,
Yes.
But there are people who just live and breathe for that, and you see it all the time. You see it even in our sweet town of Arcadia. But the thing is, if you're a business owner, you have to have a policy about that. Stay clear of that unless that's your business, of course, and that's a whole other topic and subject. But your brand is on the line, and what you say matters, and how you say it matters.
Words mean something.
And if you've got to remember customer service, because if you see somebody, like, you're gonna take your dog to the dog groomer, and that business owner is over here causing a big ruckus on social media and saying all kinds of nasty things, or blasting, like Yelp is another one of those areas where if they're giving a nasty Yelp review or something, does that make you want to do business with that business owner? That's sort of what I mean. Have a policy online and stick to it, even when you have to sit on your hands. Yeah.
This is good information. I hope you're taking notes. I'm in studio with me is MJ Fieldstrom. Am I saying your name right? Finstrom. Okay, I just want to say I just know you as MJ.
Okay. MJ's cool.
Owner of Hut Dogs, not Hot Dogs, even though she is hot. She is a digital marketing company, and we are talking about helping you to be effective online with your website. And we just finished with email marketing, and now I want to talk about how businesses can to get social with their brands, or their products or their services. After I finish a website, one of the things I like to do on their website is put their Instagram feed on there.
Yes.
Because anytime that you post on Instagram, it automatically updates on your website, and you could do that with Facebook also. So they'll say, now what do I do? Because I don't do any outside marketing. I optimize the website, and I fully optimize a website, and also ADA compliant. I wish I can go into ADA compliancy, and shorten to the point, it's making your website accessible to those with disabilities, blind, deaf, and things like that. And when we're done, they'll say, now what do I do? And I say, if you want to have an effective way of drawing people to your website other than an email campaign, is social media. So I say, let's call MJ. MJ, what do you now? Here you got a client.
Well, you determine, where their best audience is. There's so many choices, but the big boys are obviously Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, all those. But does everybody need all of those, or do you just start where you think the audience is going to be? If you have an older audience, most likely people are on Facebook.
Yeah.
If you have really young audience, that's going to be TikTok and even Snapchat.
I was just going to ask you about Snapchat. Okay.
Yeah. like the kids are all over on that, but I haven't done a lot on Snapchat. I don't know, I must be aging out or something. I don't know. But I watch my other younger people use it. But Instagram's always a good bet, and Facebook. What's cool about Instagram and Facebook owns Instagram, so you can sync them up together. But if you have no reach, like if you are posting the greatest content, the greatest videos, the best picture in the world, but you have nobody to reach to, you're just posting pixels in the wind. You know, it's like, so you need to find a way to build your audience online as well. And you can do pay for play. And that's where, you know, that's how Facebook, Instagram makes their money. But you can target, as creepy as it is, I mean, they're measuring all of our behaviors. So they know that Christine's a runner. They know she's likes bikes, and
that's right.
You probably get served up ads for bikes and running stuff, and
you know
whatever
what? I
interest
actually
you are.
click on some of those ads because they relate to me.
Yep.
So I don't mind it too much. I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a tea drinker, so when I see that, I don't.
But yeah, that's how they. You know, that's kind of how they target. And what's great is that it's affordable. Like you can do something effective for $100. Obviously, if you can spend $500, you'll get more eyeballs.
Right.
But that's sort of how you want to build your. If you're starting from zero, if you're starting and you just haven't posted for a while, that's another problem I see. People posted before 2020, and that was their last post. People come to your Facebook presence saying, "Oh, they must be out of business." So that's another thing to consider is like how important it is to
that's my fault.
keep up with it, you know?
Yes. It is so true. And being a business owner, it's like you need someone to help you with that. And that's why there's MJ and Dave. That's why they're here. So you can have a place to help you with that. With social media, there's so many things I want to talk to you about. Let's dive into video real fast.
Okay.
Now, online social media video is different from the online video that I do. Mine is professionally done, and I do it strictly for strategic reasons for a client, and it's usually for promotions.
Yeah.
And I'll put together a really nice. I like docu-stories. I don't care what some marketers don't believe in this. I believe in story. Marketing is about the story.
Absolutely.
I am the story. I own the business. I want to know, and I can turn that story into a docu-story or a full-on, rated G movie. That's how or PG. That's as
you do a great job with your videos. They're amazing.
And people love that. Mm-hmm. Because if you want to sell the product, tell the story about the product, the story about the service.
Right.
Okay, so that's what I do. Social media, is it basically on that?
It's definitely it's on that. It just might be shorter snippets of that story served out different times instead of the whole big chunk served at once.
Yes. You
can serve portions of that story. Like one component could be like, "Hi, I'm so and so. This is why I started my business." Next one, this is me giving you a tour of my business.
There you go.
This is the problems I solve. I always tell people, what problems do you solve? What's the solution? And if you own a grooming store, we'll go back to I love dogs. So your dog stinks. We got 5 appointments available. I mean, that's the solution, problem solution. It's just like a great match, when you can do that. But video online and video on social media, very important.
Oh, it's
very
huge.
Important. That's where you actually on Instagram, the reels. If you have good reels, they get the most attention. And if you're tagging, and now Instagram, you can share things for the first time. You got that little share button now. That's great.
I love the share. I do do a lot of sharing.
So that's helpful. But if you tag somebody that you have a reel on, it just goes really viral. I mean, we had and that's organic reach. That can help you with your organic, meaning you're not paying for it. And then if you add a pay model to it, then you're really reaching people. But the videos and the reels are where it's at, especially on Instagram.
Okay, so MJ said something I want you to remember. Organic is something you don't pay for.
Right.
And non-organic is what you're paying for. So
right.
Remember that. You could do things organically. So online video, how about this? Online video gives you the big story. Social media online video gives you the journey of the story.
Great. I love how that sounds. Yeah.
And that,
absolutely.
because
Yeah.
you just said it. Here I am.
Yep.
I'm the about. This is how I got started. Okay,
Yeah.
so here are my services. Here, this is how I cook spaghetti.
Yes.
Next video, I'll show you how to cook pasta. So
Right.
it shares the journey.
Right.
Why? Because it's about relationship.
Yep.
That's what and people don't understand that it is about the relationship. So I do agree is being careful what you say on social media.
Yeah. Well, and then it's also about being social. And that's the part people miss too. When we're social, like you and I are having this exchange, let's pretend like we're at lunch. I listen to you, you listen to me. And the part that people are missing is they're not listening. They're not listening to their customers. And you want to go to your customers, your vendors, your best people who give you your referrals, and listen to them and comment on their stuff. That's just being polite. That's being social.
That is, yes.
Right? So I think that's part of social media. It's not about you, it's like going to lunch with a bad friend and they just talk about themselves the whole freaking time. That's not a fun friend, and this is building friends and relationships.
That is so. Gosh, I've never believed meet me halfway and I'll meet you halfway. I'm like, no, you meet me all the way, you meet me all the way, and that's how I've always believed on that. And, when it comes to that type of journey, social journey,
love it.
On a website, people, you have your main navigation, which is your about page, your services, your products, your shop, your e-commerce shop, your contact page, your testimonial page, blogging. People always ask me, what's the best way to draw traffic to my website? I say blogging. And now I know I say that and everybody's all like, I don't have time for blogging, which is true. If you're a business owner, I totally get it. And now, like ArcadiaFYI.com, I can blog because I blog my podcast. Yeah. But blogging is you could do that with your social media. Yeah. I can't, blogging, why is blogging the number one way to draw traffic to your website? Because it's content. Right. Search loves content. Content. Yes. If Google doesn't search you by your pictures. Google doesn't necessarily search you by your videos, but they will search you by your content. Yeah. Because it's content. They need content. Right. Did I mention content? I think you did a couple times. What was that called? What was that? So, content. Yeah. But when I say that, they say, well, then how do I create content? Okay, I know what I would say. What would you say, MJ? How to create content? Yeah, how to create content. Start with your FAQs. What are the frequently asked questions that you get asked all the time? Thank you. And start with those. And then I don't know. Is there anything else? Yeah. I would think write out each of your services. Yep. And people say, well, what can I write about a broken toilet? Right. When I talk to a plumber, they can't stop talking about a broken toilet. Put that. Right, that's great. I mean, people love to watch mishaps and failures and how they're doing things and how they make things or how they fix a pipe or they love that stuff. And then how it fits in relevance to today's world. Yes. Is there something that is relevant that's going on that you can fit into with content? I think that's a big thing too. Yeah, staying relevant is so important. Yes. And remember this, that with any videos that you either do with me, Pure Media Marketing, or with MJ, which she would probably do a lot more when it comes to social media marketing, all videos have a transcript. Yeah. And you could take that transcript, copy and paste it onto your blog. 100%. Which is separate from your content, your main content. And you've just taken care of not only your blog, but ADA compliancy. Yeah, for sure. Because you have your video, a little bit of maybe of an introduction into the content, and then your transcript. Right. You've just taken care of everything. And then click publish. Yeah, there's so many ways to do it. And the thing is, technology is getting better and better all the time. I'm a tech geek. I mean, I anything that makes my life easier technology-wise, I'm there. I've got these glasses. They listen for me. I even have shoes that I don't tie my shoes anymore. Me? No, I'm not filming you. You don't tie your shoe? I could. I wear slip-in shoes all the time. Oh, okay. I have slip-ins. Here's my slip-ins. Let's show. Yeah. Are those slip-ins? Yeah, they're Hey Dudes. I love it. So anything that makes my life easier. And so with content,
And I've talked to writers and people, I've been around the editors for a long time. They're loving AI and that kind of stuff as well. But I did, during the fires, I interviewed one of my best friends who was a fire survivor from a Colorado fire. And do you know on our phones, you can record a phone conversation?
Yes. Yeah.
And that phone conversation will transcribe into copy. And then you can put that copy and have AI clean it up. And that could be a blog. Like if you're interviewing somebody, I interviewed her about what are the best ways we can help fire survivors. And she gave all this great information and just did this Q&A with her. Brilliant. And I said, clean that up, ChatGPT or whatever I was using. And it created this amazing kind of blog-like thing. I use LinkedIn sometimes for newsletter stuff. But technology can help you now with content more than ever. You know, I mean, more than ever. I just want to say one thing about your website. You talked about the whole navigation thing. And I feel like I'm just talking about what people are missing and what they're doing wrong, and I'm not. But one of the things I find out there is people in business have no way to collect money for their business. It drives me bananas. I'm like, put that on a cart on your website.
Yes.
And I find that, oh, no, I don't know. Well, we'll get to that later. I'm like, no. That's the first thing you should be doing if you have a business is how people pay you.
You know what? On my website, I have that.
Yeah.
If you want website maintenance, you can buy it on my website.
Yes.
If you want to rent this studio, you can buy it on my website.
Yeah.
And it is important. That is so true. In today's technology, it makes it a little bit simple. I don't use the word easy because it's not always
Never
easy,
but
it is simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know we could go on forever,
but I want to touch on artificial intelligence,
okay.
AI. I do want to make. I work in it every single day. You work in it every single day. But I do want to remind everybody it is artificial.
Yep.
Okay. It's people always ask me, is it going to take over the world? It's already taking over the world, but it doesn't have to control you.
No.
AI will always and be forever, whether it turns into robots or whatever. It's going to be controlled by human beings. So in saying that, let's use it and have fun. Let's use it. You know, I always say artificial is a tool, not the rule. So let's have fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, when I work in artificial intelligence to create content for clients, I will use Copilot, and I will also use Gemini. I love Gemini. Gemini, it just takes you. All of them have their weaknesses and their strengths.
Yes.
You know, and so it's hard for me to say one is better than the other, but I do like Gemini because it just has it gives you a longer version of things.
Interesting.
But, yeah, it just does. And anyway, so artificial intelligence and how I use it with websites is to create content, and then I add the human touch because I'll say this. Google is the one that invented artificial intelligence for online. So in saying that, even Google finds it hard sometimes to know what's real and what's not real. Even they have that problem. And they will tell you that on their blog.
Yeah.
So when they crawl your website, that's why your about page is so important, and a picture of who you are.
100%, yeah.
And that's why I'm a stickler when it comes to the about page. And remember on the about page, you don't have to be revealing, but at least be transparent.
Right.
That's it. Okay? You don't have to talk about, you know, all your past life and things like that. And no, just talk about who you are and who you are in the business. And so when it comes to artificial intelligence, just make sure that you're always using it on the human level, because that's what Google is looking. That's what search is. Bing, search, Yahoo, because Yahoo still has their search engine. You know, they're looking for the human element, and when they can't find it, they will spam it.
Yep.
They will, and you just need to fix that content.
100%.
And so how do you approach artificial intelligence?
Well,
AI?
I think humanizing, it's like that seems to be a theme all over. We were attending these, the Pasadena, the talks, you know, those, I forget the name of it, but they're wonderful. And there was Sanjay Gupta and The Economist. I mean, all these great people, but they always talk about AI in every one of them. And it's been fascinating, but they all kind of have a thread. You got to make sure you're humanizing it, because that's where it's at. And in marketing in particular, I always tell people, AI is never going to replace you. It's never going to replace your relationships that you build. That's the most important thing in business. That's the
Wait a
thing
minute.
that's
Say that again. Let me write that down.
AI will never replace you.
Will never replace me.
Will
Did you get
never
that?
replace your relationships.
Never replace my
Will
relationship.
never replace your expertise
Never.
and your skill set. Will never replace your creativity.
Are you listening
you
to
still
this?
you still own that. What it will do to all of us, which is a good thing, it should sharpen our critical thinking skills of every piece of content that we see. We should use our critical thinking skills and judgment to say, wonder if that's real or not. And you see it like on Facebook all the time. There's a picture of a lion with a cute baby dangling out of its mouth and they're best friends. And you're like, that is not real, people.
Yes.
You know, it's not real when in actually Sanjay Gupta, that's happened to him. There's the kind of thing they put him out promoting some product and he looks a little weird and movement. That is not real. Just question it more. And on the reverse end, make sure if people are questioning you that you can prove you are real and that you are human, and always know how to
Are you listening to this?
humanize your brand. I mean, this was before artificial intelligence. Everybody talked about the importance of humanizing your brand.
That's why I believe in story.
Yeah,
Nothing
absolutely.
can take away. Nothing in this world
No.
can take away from your story and bring that
Yeah.
into your marketing.
And like you said, it's about having fun. You know, we started an AI user group. We meet once a month on, I think it's the second Monday. We just met yesterday. Oh my God, we're learning so much from each
Where?
other.
Second? I didn't know this.
It's
Second-
online. It's a Hot Dogs AI users group. So much
AI
fun.
user. I'm gonna put that.
Francine is part of it. She always
Okay.
has great things to offer. And so it's spearheaded by Hot Dogs. But we're talking, we're showing how we're using it. I'm always showing the fun I have with AI. I mean, we went to Breckenridge to talk about the ski slopes, and I planned a day trip to Breckenridge with AI just to see what would happen if we were going to end up in Nebraska or whatever, and then made a video, and that's on Hot Dogs Facebook page if you want to check that out. But so fun, and it was really great to plan that way. Made me think of things, but one of the key takeaways from our AI user group, and this was just in the last week, is just like massive light bulb going on. Ask AI to give, before they generate, ask whatever AI tool, ask me qualifying questions. Now that is a game changer when it comes to AI. So what I mean by that is, before I ask AI, and I'm a Copilot fan, before you give me my itinerary for my day trip to Breckenridge, ask me qualifying questions. And they asked me, do you need any special accommodations? Well, yeah, we're taking my mom. We need wheelchair access. Do you have any food preference? Well, yeah, we're taking my mom. She wants a cinnamon roll. Do you have any other needs? What kind of stops do you want? I love waterfalls and I love real scenic things. And it pulled out an itinerary that was just fantastic.
Right.
And so that's what was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so much fun to play, and I'm always playing. Like, I probably have pictures from my husband right now because we're always co-piloting each other, where we make each other into cartoons. We laugh at that. We think it's the funniest thing on earth.
It is, and artificial intelligence is fun, and I use it. And I did I'm part of the Arcadia Chamber of Commerce, and at the breakfast I was showing how artificial intelligence has evolved and is going to evolve, and how you can manipulate pictures.
Yes.
And I said, I showed this one where I just pulled a picture off stock photo of sheep, because sheep are my favorite animal. And I said, this is what happens when I can manipulate that picture with artificial intelligence. Well, all the sheep in the picture came alive, and they were walking around. And I said, now, if I were to post that on Instagram, because it was these sheep are from Ireland. If I were to post that on Instagram, I can say anywhere where I'm at. I say, here I am, and I'm Ireland. I'm here with the sheep. You know how many people would believe me?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and so I said, just be careful who you hire as a marketing company using artificial intelligence on the behalf of your brand. You just got to be careful.
Yeah.
And YouTube has strict rules too, that when you upload a video, you have to answer the question if it's
artificial or not.
And
Yeah.
And if you say no and you get caught, you are not. They will make it very difficult for you to upload another
Instagram
video.
is that way as well. Yeah, for sure.
So Oh my gosh, MJ,
So you
there's
gotta
so
be
many.
careful. There's so many things we could talk about. I know. It's so much
know.
fun.
You know what? You'll have to come back more
Okay.
towards the holidays
All right.
because there will be things marketing wise that you and I.
Yeah.
Well, actually, well, me too, because we work together. And do you see why I refer MJ, all my clients to MJ, because we work together, and especially when it's a website that I build, she will say, or a video that I did, she'll say, okay, send me some cuts, send me some, edits and stuff that she can use for social media. And the thing I love working with MJ is that we can be consistent with the brand. I don't want,
Yeah.
when people go to social media, they can also see that on the website. So
Yeah, and you want to pull stuff from your if you have a really good website, it makes the social media that much easier because you can take that website apart and have 1,000 posts based on a great website. Just one snippet at a time, and that's a beautiful thing.
yeah, and she'll give me some ideas too. Hey, Christine, can you do this on the website? I'm all absolutely. So we trust each other because
100%.
we know each
100%.
other. So, MJ, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for
you.
having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. Thank you for letting us know what more we can do with email marketing, social media marketing, artificial intelligence, and we just touched the surface.
100%. Yeah, there's so much. Yeah.
Just touched the surface.
Well, the thing is, it's all changing all the time, probably right now as we speak. So.
I know. It's like buying a brand new car. You take it off the lot, it's already depreciated.
Already done, yeah.
So, all right. All the information that we talked about here on our Arcadia FYI with MJ, it's going to be on arcadiafyi.com in the resource tab, or even on my on the blog with her. And I'll have on there the link so you can is the AI group that you have on.
Oh, just go to hutdogs.com and our user group will be up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'll have that link for you if you want to join and learn more about artificial intelligence and using it in your brand, in your company. And gosh, I wanted to ask you another question, but we have to go. I mean, it's great. I'd like to thank our sponsors. Our sponsors, Toyota, Longo Toyota, Lexus in El Monte. Again, you got to go by there. Say hi to Mike and Brooke. They do more than just sell cars. It's this huge lot, and there's things inside of it. It's great. You got to go see it. They have restaurants, everything. Star 7 Financial with Francine Chu, the Santa Anita Park, and the Le Meridian Hotel in Arcadia and Pasadena. Until next time, just be blessed and make it a great day.